So hello, it's John Nygate, aka Swami Alok John, speaking from London. So I'm going to speak a bit more about child abuse and my history. I'll go through some bit more detail, and then I'll talk about reactions in Britain to when I talk about child abuse. So, as I said, Grant used to enjoy beating children in front of all the on the podium in morning assembly. Once he beat a child so hard the cane broke. Another time the beating was so savage that the deputy headmaster, a man called Fuller, a rather unpleasant man himself, grabbed the cane off Grant, so that the child wasn't too badly injured. Grant died in 1980s. I heard once that somebody went back to the school and threatened him, and the police were called. But I mean, he never really got his comeuppance for his brutality. Reffold at Orange Hill Grammar School for Boys was a more interesting character. He had a homosexual relationship with a 14-year-old boy at the school. I have got a name, but I'm not certain, so I'm not gonna make it public. As I said, I had weekly lessons with Reffold, and when one lesson ended, all I could think about the next week was how I was going to get through next week's lesson without being beaten. So no doubt this caused considerable long-term psychological damage. So after Orange Hill, Reffold moved to a school in East London, and in the early 1990s he was stabbed by an angry pupil. I'm tempted to call the pupil a hero, and anyway, he was very badly injured, and I believe he spent quite a long time in hospital, and after that he didn't go back to teaching, and he retired to Thailand, where he died a few years ago. Again, he never received his comeuppance for his brutality. So nobody wants to hear about this. Now, in England, as you know, has a very complex class system, and wherever you are in this class system, there is a set of behaviours and things you're meant to say, and you don't go to jail in England for what you say, but if you say the wrong things, you may well get yourself fired or find yourself at the bottom of the social heap, as it were. So one of the things you're always meant to say in England is, I was caned at school and it did me no harm. Now, if you went for an interview and you said to somebody, I was caned at school and it was very distressing and I believe it may have harmed me, you probably won't get a job, because it's one of the things you're never meant to say. Very scary, really. So some years later, I told my story in a book called Survivors' Stories. Here it is. It's going to go the wrong way around, isn't it? Survivors' Stories. Anyway, Survivors' Stories by Morven Fyfe, Fyfe, and there's a chapter in the book about the abuse I experienced. And I asked my MPs would they buy the book and read the chapter and generally support me because there's historical child abuse in their constituency. And no MP was helpful. No MP wanted to spend 12 quid on it. They could buy it out of expenses. The two MPs who failed to help were Andrew Dismore, Labour. He was a Labour MP, I don't know quite till a few years ago. Dismore, and then the current MP Matthew Offord, Offord, also didn't want to help. After I wrote to Offord, I got an invitation to have a chat with a social worker. So, what's a social worker? A social worker is basically job is to persuade me to shut up. So I didn't take it up. And what are they going to say? I don't already know. So what else? I think that's it for the moment, but I'll do another one later today or when the thoughts are there. Okay, bye.